for corporate clients, and that can get kind of dull, honestly. And after my grandfather's passing, I was really, really inspired to write about him, which was a real blessing for me, not only as a family member, but also just creatively as an artist. So forgive me if I get some of the details wrong, but this is my recollection of this amazing man. 75 years ago, Donald Richter, a young farmer in rural South Dakota, asked a local girl out on a date. When he arrived, however, he was surprised to find he had asked the wrong girl out. But they got on well enough, so he married her. Her name was Albertha. Donald and Albertha ran a family farm for the next 50 years. At some point, he traded in his trusty team of mules and $80 cash for his brand new John Deere tractor. He could chat corn like nobody's business and was the reigning champion at the local threshing bee. He had 3 changes of clothes that I'm aware of: his work overalls, his good overalls, and his church suit. They had 3 children, one of whom was my mother. In the 80s, they sold the farm and moved into a small 2-bedroom house with indoor plumbing in Chancellor, South Dakota, population 328. They spent their time involved in church, the community, and their family. Donald officially retired from farming, but was never one to sit still. He was always in motion, enjoying yard work, including pruning his trees, shoveling in the winter, and inventing things out in his shed. He was known to climb up on his roof for an enormous amount of repairs on a very regular basis. He made us all nervous, but he was spry and stubborn, so he usually won out. Donald was an incredibly gentle and unassuming man. He was quiet, but had a smile for everyone and generally a laugh. Years ago, when I became interested in genealogy, I asked him where his family originally came from. He paused. "Well," he said, "I suspect most of them come from Illinois." So there is much I don't know about my grandfather, but I know the important things. I know that after he married my grandmother, their friends threw them in the back of a pickup truck and drove all over town honking, and that all of the neighbors came out of their houses to wave and cheer. I know that he loved all things John Deere. I know that he enjoyed the Westerns, and recently, just the tiniest bit of Mocha David wine in the evenings. I know that when my grandmother's health deteriorated, he did his best to take care of her, learning to cook and to tend to the house in his 90s. And I know that when he couldn't take care of her anymore and she went to live in the nursing home, he visited her every day. I know that he saw a lot in his lifetime, and that he took the rapidly changing world at face value. He would just shake his head and say, "Well, isn't that something?" And I know that he did keep up with the times in his own way, buying his first pair of what he called bibless overalls, also known as jeans, just a few years ago. Donald passed away on Thursday, February 3rd at 5:37 p.m. He was 96 years old. He went peacefully, on his own terms, and surrounded by his children. Albertha was able to be there just hours earlier for a visit. She sat by his bedside and they held hands, falling asleep together. She was the right girl after all.